Good afternoon. Oh, okay. 124 show. Show 124 pre-recorded. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And welcome to Outside the Round Table. I'm your host, and sometimes controversial, but always entertaining. HL Siler. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to our 124th show. God is good. God is truly good. And I've got to give all the glory to God. And it's a must that I start each and every show by giving him praise. So having said that, everybody ready today? I said, is everybody ready? But then let's get to it. Let's talk about the solid doctrine. The solid doctrine for college sports comes from a guy who played in the Big Ten, and he saw way back in the late 70s, early 80s that college sports was a job. So the solid doctrine, what it would do, it would make every kid, which I feel every kid should be an entity within themselves. We want to talk about college sports today, and I want to talk about how the kids need to be paid. And it's called a solid doctrine. It's considered the new way to go as far as college football and basketball with the kids. I think when a kid signs a scholarship, he should be like a corporation within themselves. And I think said money that's made off his kid uh, should go into an escrow account every year until that kid graduate with a 5-year max on it, maybe 5-6 year max on it, depending on if it's a medical red shirt or not. But you get 5-6 years, then he got to finish up in 4 or 5 years, and he gets that bonus. And I mean, if you go to the restaurant, don't you get a waiter 18%? Or if you get the players 20%, left split up among themselves, 20% of the revenues that's coming in these universities, all these kids could be able to come home with degrees. Because you know why? They be coming home with degrees of money. You know why? Because that incentive, that UGB, that university graduation bonus, that would be an incentive for that kid to stay in school, because he would be having that lump sum payment coming once he graduated. So that would be his graduation present from that university and to himself. You don't play 4 years, you might not didn't go to the pros. Might not have been healthy enough to go to the pros for whatever reason, but you paid 4 years there and you made them $400 million while you was there. So you deserve to walk away with something. And that's what I'm trying to touch on. That's what I'm trying to awaken the sleeping Native Black Americans of this country and let them realize their kids getting pimped. And I'm here today to go over some of the things under the solid doctrine that I feel can help the kids. Like, for instance, we get a stipend. You give them a stipend. You give them like a $250, $300 every 2 week stipend. Like they do that kind of now. Because once training table, what they won't tell you, and what your parents don't know, once training table is over with, that's right, 5, 6 o'clock after practice. Okay, well, what about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock when you're hungry? Where you going to eat then? And this is what I'm talking about. You have to be able to address the kid and where the kid come from. And Johnny Manziel that Texas A&M, he drove a Mercedes around. I didn't see the NCAA messing with him because his people had money. So he could do that. But if you go borrow, but if I wouldn't borrow somebody's car, then the NCAA could say that I'm breaking some kind of rule. You see the hypocrisy I'm talking about? And this is why, You got old white men running the game that's played by young black men. Huh? You got old white men running the game played by young, and then you got coaches. It's hardly no coaches. Hardly no black coaches in Division I schools. So my thing is this. I think we should give them a date. Give them a date, like maybe Blackout 23. And what Blackout 23 would be, Blackout 23 would be if you guys haven't come up with any kind of other solutions to make going to school and playing ball, and getting that education a lot more easily and a lot more simplistic. Until you guys do that, we ain't playing. We ain't going on the field. And if the season start or the season get ready to start, they're still trying to hold out. All the historical black schools all over this country should take in all the players and let them play right away. Right away. I would like to see in 2022 or 2023, because 22 gone. No, 22 coming up. I would like to see in 2022 Alabama play with an all-white team. I'd like to see Clemson play with an all-white team. I'd like to see Mississippi play with an all-white team. I'd like to see Georgia play with an all-white team. I'd like to see Savannah State, FAMU, Cookman, Jackson State, all of them be the dominant schools now. Southern, Texas Southern, Alcorn, Mississippi State, all of them. Let's change the culture. Let's change the culture, because they're taking us for sheep and they're taking us for suckers, ladies and gentlemen. We're the only people that millionaires come sit in the projects every year, same time, same bad station, same bad channel, every year. Football, basketball season, you got rich coaches sitting in the projects trying to get our kids to come to trying to convince you and I to send our kids to their schools. Every year. It's time the native blacks in this country understand that we hold our own destiny in our own hands. And one of the few chips you got, you ain't taking advantage of. I keep telling anybody willing to listen. Those antiquated NCAA draconian too. Those antiquated draconian NCAA policies that were put back in place way when coaches was making $10,000 and $20,000 a year. Now they're making $10 and $20 million a year. Those old antiquated, the only old antiquated rule is the paying the compensation to the players. Compensation to the players. Everybody else making money. Everybody else, instead of $20,000 now, making $20 million. Instead of raggedy helmets or all together, we got the latest design. Instead of a raggedy field, we got bubbles where when it's cold, we play inside the bubble under temperature conditions. All that. Your son bringing them all that. Your son playing for the golfer. Your son playing for the tennis player. Your son playing for the lacrosse players. Your son playing for the volleyball players, the golfers. Your son playing for every other sport that's playing in that school. Your kid is paying for it by playing football. That's what they won't tell you. But they don't want to. It's all right for your kid to pay and give their kids a free ride. But it ain't all right when you want to benefit off your own child. And you want your kids to benefit off their own talent. See, everybody want to benefit off the native blacks, but the native blacks. You see, and if they don't, if they can't make money off you on NCAA, they sure gonna make money off of you on this industrial prison complex. We the only, and I keep saying this, and let me tell you something. I'm talking about fact-based information. We the only group of people They send people out in our communities to try to lock us up on these reverse things. It's almost like, I know we know they're a minority, but they ain't committing crimes enough, so we got to speed it up a little bit. We go manufacture some crime and just send people out to get them to help speed it up. So what we want to do is get a gun in hand. Everything else is gonna be made up. We're making the whole scenario up, pie in the sky, give him money for months. Broke man gonna go, you gonna have a broke man gonna get his attention when you put out some money. You gonna get his attention when you put some money out. So dude standing on the corner ain't bothering nobody, drinking a beer. Come on, oh man, I know where 100 bricks at. You got boys with other, oh man. Especially if somebody you know you don't dealt with, you feel like, and they make you feel like you know, like you helping them, and they're in a jam. So now you feel like you got to do that to help them. You see what I'm saying? And the whole time it's a whole trick. I keep telling you, you guys gotta wake up. You guys gotta wake up because we are under. Calling you on the air? Did I call him? He was trying to call in. He must be can't get in. We had a call. He was trying to call on my phone because I guess he couldn't get in. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying. We have got to start taking control of our own situations and start waiting on them, the native whites of this country, to do right by yourself. Just do right by your own self. Don't worry about what they do, cause we ain't doing right by ourselves. And when I go around trying to tell people about kids need to get paid, I'm just ahead of my time. Because in another 20 years, they'll probably be getting paid. But they need to be getting paid now. Because billions of dollars are being made off your kids now. Maybe you don't need the money, but it might be some other parent that need that money from their kids. Start benefiting off your kids yourself. You want raising them, you want paying for them. Start letting these people come in your living room and lie to you to get your kid there. And then when you get there, it's eight or nine other All-Americans that he recruited for at the same position. How? And that's what happens. These coaches don't care about them kids. All they care about is goddamn and performing. You think Nick Saban care about black kids if they ain't out there running around playing football for him? You think Nick Saban or Sweeney? You can look at both of them and know they're straight rednecks. Thinking they're such great coaches when they got all that talent. And I'm here to tell you, boy, if I had all the talent Sweeney and Nick Saban had, I have way more championships than them. Way more championships than them. Because the ones they won on sheer talent. The ones they had to coach, they lost because they can't coach. Yeah, I said it. Hey, if you think Nick Saban could coach, go look and see what he did when he was in the NFL. That's when you got to coach. You can't go recruit the top 3 players in the country at every position then. You got to coach then. He was a colossal mess at Miami. That's why he went back to the college. Tell me about no Nick Saban. He got ran out of the NFL because he couldn't coach. Sweeney can't coach. Urban Miles can't coach. Remember I told you that ball always low for them. I got to coach any one of them. But guess what? I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm just telling you, I got to coach any one of them. Coaching was my calling. I should have one of the top programs in the nation right now, or NFL job, or NBA job. Got these people going around thinking they all that, drinking the Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid, man. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. We trying to do a pre-recorded show. It'll be on Tuesday, the 16th. When's next Tuesday? Next Tuesday, what, the 16th? 15th. Pre-recorded show. So next Tuesday, we should be doing next Tuesday show pre-recorded right now because my producer stuff, I guess they're gonna be out of town. So that, but we try to get a friend of mine on the line now who want to call in and talk, but we try to. You got it? Okay. What's going on, Lucky? You on the air, Luck? How y'all doing? Well, we doing okay. How everything going in Miami, man? Okay. Okay. All day, all the time. So what you think about what I've been talking about, Luck? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. And I talked about on the previous show. I was talking about this girl just her name was Brianna Griff. Her mom called the police. You heard about it? Yeah. Her mom called the police because she was going through a mental episode, man. And then when the police came, they treated her so bad. And you know, and instead of treating her like a patient, they were treating her like a criminal, man. And then some kind of way, she fell out the police car when it was driving, man. Right. 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 Yeah, man, that was terrible, man. I just think when people have mental health issues, it should be some kind of mental health agency they call. Stop calling these police because they come and treat the people like they ain't nothing. Man, they was handling that girl like she was garbage. You know. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%, bro. How you get you want to plug the book and tell my listeners how to get a hold of your book? Okay. Well, I said we hold up. I said we hold our destiny. I always say that because we spend $2 billion a year as black people. As a consumer block, we spend $2 billion a year. That's money, man.
No question. That's money. We can start our own football league, our own basketball league. They did it back in the day with the baseball. We always think we need them to support us.
Exactly.
Our hand always going out to them.
Exactly.
Now we powerful now. You got these powerful people in these powerful places, and they trade to them. I'm gonna say it ain't change. I don't care what they did to LeBron, James, or whoever. Brothers they try, but they can open their hearts and hands a little better because it's like I said, it's like a trade camp. It's like a trade plantation. And they got the power to start their own. The people come out to see them. They don't come out. They don't know these owners of these leagues or these teams.
And that's what I said about Alabama. I said they ain't paying Nick Saban $10 million. Let me see them pay Saban $10 million to walk the sideline with an all white team. It ain't finna happen.
Yeah. So they can create their own institutions.
Yeah,
if they want to, if the other kind want to come in, we ain't locking them out as well.
Well, we never locked nobody out. We always been open to everybody.
Yeah.
Black people always been open to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody ain't never been
open to us, including ourselves. Including ourselves. We ain't open to ourselves. That's what we need to get back to loving ourselves. Cause you can't deal with what's out there. You can't deal with what's out there until you start dealing with what's at home first.
What's at home first, exactly. Once you learn to love yourself, then you know how to love everybody else.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it starts with yourself in your household first.
And it starts with your parents. You know what I mean? Remember when we was going to school? We made sure we looked good. Now they go out looking any kind of way, man. And you playing straight into the narrative that they want for you, the buckwheat type thing, with your hair looking all crazy under the guy's style. That ain't no style. And that's what we got to get back to, making our kids have sense. Y'all not white kids. You gotta let them know they're not white kids. These black kids growing up, they think they're white kids. Y'all not white kids. It's different out there once you get out there in life. And you gotta train them now before they leave the house.
Women out front and the men is behind.
Ain't that something? And it ain't by accident either, brother.
And they also got an identity crisis.
Yes, sir.
It ain't no more real blackness no more. Naturalness. Everything's fake now. So man, we got work to do, bro.
Lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, bro. So Lucky. So you say you want to plug that book again? Cedric Lyons. You say Cedric Lyons, and the book. The name of the book is
My Daddy Changed the World.
My Daddy Changed the World.
Yeah, by Cedric Lyons. Kids guide to defeat racism.
A must read. My Daddy Ruled the World. Cedric Lyons. That's Cedric Lyons talking to you right now. This is the author of the book who you talking to right now. So you said we go to Walmart. We can pick that up right now today.
You can go online. You can go online with Walmart, Barnes and Noble. Any type of bookstore. You can go online, and it is online. You can get it, but the major outlets is Walmart and Barnes and Noble.
Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna go by Walmart when I leave the studio and pick that up. So thanks for calling in. I want you to call in and pub. I want you to call in and pub your book, man. You know what I mean? I want you to call in and pub your book.
You always been an inspiration to me, and you're a man of your word. What you say, you do. So I'm proud of you, man. To keep doing what you're doing, man. God got you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, bro.
Okay, brother. Y'all have a nice one.
All right, you have a good one too, man. Stay up, bro.
No question.
All right, yo. But yeah, that was a friend. I mean, I'm getting 10 years together, Muslim guy, black Muslim guy, good dude, good people. That he is Cedric Lyons. That's the author of that. My Daddy Changed the World. He wrote the book while he was locked up. Go out there and check that. Go out there and get that book. It's at Walmart's, Barnes and Noble. Uh, we want to go get that book. Um, I want to get back to the solid doctrine. Um, the solid doctrine is only to make the solid doctrine is only to hold on a second. Does it need to be plugged in? I got the plug. Is the battery low? I see a little white something come on. Hold on, listeners, 1 second. We got difficult